We're sitting 20, 30 miles southwest of London with the guitar hero and the founder of the legendary band Queen, Brian May.
Hi Peter.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
You're beginning your European part of the tour in Prague. And as far as I read the interviews of the South American part of the tour, there's no one a bad review. What happened?
I know, it's very peculiar, yeah. Normally we get lots of bad reviews. So we must be doing something right or something wrong, I don't know. Yeah, people do love it, and the strange thing is that the press do love it and the media love it, which is unusual. Usually we're kind of fighting with the media. No, I feel it's a good show. Probably more creative and rounded as an entertainment than we've ever done before. It's also more adventurous, and I think Freddie would be very much in approval. It's themed and it's very tight. We don't kind of ramble about. It's bang, 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 and we give you everything we can, which was kind of always the philosophy of the group.
You mentioned this very interesting saying. What would Freddie say, or what would Freddie think of it?
I think Freddie would love it, yeah.
Do you often ask that question or pronounce that statement?
Yeah, all the time, really. I think Freddie lives with us. I know Roger will tell you the same thing. He's always in our minds, and you can sometimes kind of second guess what Freddie would say. You can see him laughing at some things, and of course he is in the show. We put some very nice bits of Freddie in the show, so he is part of the entertainment and part of the spirit of the thing, which is right, because Freddie was one of the creators of what we do. And it's good that he should be in it, not just as a philosophy, but as part of entertaining people. Not too much. You don't want to be relying on Freddie the whole time. I think that would be wrong. That would be just pure nostalgia. You can go home and listen to the albums, but we have a wonderful frontman, a wonderful singer in Adam Lambert, and sometimes we just bring Freddie in to do a little interaction. It's good fun.
Yeah. Adam has got a peculiar position because you must have chosen him because he was Mercurian enough. I guess.
I don't know if we chose him. I think it just happened. I call him the GFG, the gift from God, because we really weren't looking for it. We weren't looking to continue even after Paul Rodgers. We thought, Roger and me, that is. Mm-hmm. We thought, okay, we're probably done now. We've done everything, and we brought the group back to life with Paul Rodgers in a different kind of incarnation, and then it was time to split. It was time to move on, and we thought, okay, and then here's this guy, this Adam Lambert, who's on American TV on a American Idol show, which he didn't win, but everybody in the world emailed us and said, this is the guy, this must be the guy who sings with you. And they were right. And it didn't happen overnight, but when we finally did get together, the chemistry was there. And we have a guy who has an extraordinary voice, incredible voice. And I can see Freddie going, it's something incredible. I haven't seen a voice like that. And I've probably seen a million singers in my life, but he also has the personality. He has this kind of instinct for communication with an audience. He's funny, he's light, he's camp. And he's also nice. He's good to get on with, And so the fact that I'm twice his age doesn't seem to matter. We're out there with the same kind of ideas, working the whole time towards making the show better and more entertaining. So we have this guy, and we have a band.
Seems like a dream come true, but when I said peculiar position, because you want him to be Adam because he's Adam, but everybody would go like, is he Mercurian enough? Is he Freddie Mercury enough? Because that's what the band will be judged by, whether he's done justice to Freddie.
Yeah, I think it works very well, because the answer is really he doesn't need to be mercurial. He needs to be himself, which he is. He has all those attributes which dovetail very well with what we bring to the stage, but he is Adam Lambert. He's a separate guy, and we're encouraging him in his solo career as well. So there's no thought of just kind of sucking him in and putting him in a slot. He's an independent person, but it works great, and I think everybody who sees it feels the same. You can see it. I mean, we've been together 5 years now, us and Adam Lambert, but in the beginning you could see people going, okay, is this going to work? He's not Freddie. What's the deal here? But after about 3 songs, and after he speaks to them and said, look, he says, I'm not Freddie, you know, okay, you know, tell me about it, you know. But I'm me, and we are here, and we have a chance to communicate and keep alive this thread that Queen created. He said, you know, let's have a good time, you know. So everybody loves him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's asking about the past of the band, about the good old days.
Yeah.
What is the story you tell him about the singer of Queen to make him understand his position, what he's doing?
Well,
is there a story of Freddie that you would rely to Adam to make sure that he understands? Because he understands clearly.
I don't think there's one story, but we talk a lot about stuff. You know, we talk about. I think we're kind of quite grown up about it, you know, because we actually do talk concepts now, you know, and what the function of the stage show is, you know, what the function of the lights and the sound, the shape of the stage, the set list, the shape, you know, in a kind of way which is always new, you know. So I think the essential thing about Adam is it's not a museum, you know. He's not stepping into a museum. He's in a place where he can create with us, same as Freddie did, you know. He can create with us. And actually he does. He's not a person who will just say yes if we say stand over there. You know, he goes, well, I think I should do this, and how about if we try this? So I think that's the real secret of why this works. Not just because he looks right and he sounds right. He functions as a part of the band.
You mentioned the word concept. I just don't believe that you would quit Queen, because to me, when I look at you, it means the band is not how you make living. The band is you. This is how you live. Isn't it?
This is what we discovered, I think, yeah. At some point. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it, for you, what is at stake now? When you're playing with Queen, what is at stake? Where is the risk for you?
Where is at stake? Well,
Or
yeah.
is there anything at stake? You're just doing what you please
Well,
to do?
I guess there is nothing to prove, but there is every possibility of failing at every point, you know, and that's why it's good, that's why it's exciting, that's why it's dangerous. We're one of the very few groups you could go out and see in an arena who don't play to clicks, don't play to backing tracks, you know, don't have stuff on tape or whatever. It's live completely and dangerous and different every time you come and see us, and I think that's what people like. So yes, there is every chance of falling every time, every minute, you know, there's no safety net, but we have a kind of, I think we have a good attitude, you know, we're kind of forgiving of ourselves and of each other, which perhaps we weren't in the old days. You know, we have much more of a sense of humour. So if something goes on, perfect, then wonderful. If something goes wrong, you just kind of laugh and go, oh, that went wrong. Okay, let's do this. And it's okay, because I think we understand now that what we are is okay. And the audience like us because of that. They don't want to see perfection. They want to see us out there taking some kind of risk and giving them something which nobody else ever had.
Is it because you don't have to prove who you are? Because you are who you are, and you have proven.
I think that's right. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing to prove really. There's just trying to make the best of what you have, you know, and what you have is never perfect. It cannot be. So you have to be proud of what you can bring to it and enjoy it, I think. And if you enjoy it, then people who are watching you tend to enjoy it because they relax, they realise you're at ease.
Very rarely I use the word legend, but it suits for the band, for Queen. It's the good old days. We imagine the rock and roll bands like Led Zeppelin and Queen, like big stadiums, big sound. Do you sometimes look back and say, it was an extraordinary time I had, and perhaps you talk to those people who were in rock and roll with you at the time?
I do, but I think if you're aware and you're functioning, now is the good old days as well. You know, like in Roger's songs, you know, these are the days of our lives, really. I feel incredibly privileged that we can go out at the same level as we used to, or even bigger and better, more production, more ideas. I think the good old days can be now, you know, you just have to believe. Yeah, we do talk about the old times, and there are great things. And of course I wrote my book recently, you know, the Queen in 3D book, and to do that I had to go back and look at all these moments in time, and they're wonderful. You know, we had these incredible experiences. It's a life full of incredible gifts. I feel so grateful that we had it. But right now we have gifts. You know, I was on the film set of a recreated Live Aid the other day for our Freddie film, you know, thinking, I never thought this would happen to me. Here I am watching somebody playing me on stage for a film, somebody playing Freddie, and recreating our lives. You know, whoever gets to see that? Not when they're alive, that's for sure. So, you know, and we get the chance to go out and entertain people. This tour that's coming up, I can only feel grateful, because if it weren't for Adam and all the other circumstances, we wouldn't be there. We'd be at home kind of vegetating, I suppose. Well, I would be doing other things. No, I would be saving animals. But it is a privilege to be out there.
I'm glad you mentioned Live Aid in 1986, because watching those pictures... 1985.
It's the only date I know.
Well, I was going to say that 1986, it was the last show.
Yes, 1986 is the last.
And you watched that performance, and you think that they have one more year to go. Does it move you to watch it, or does it do anything to you? Yeah,
I mean, to be honest with you, I've watched it very seldom. You know, it's something which is kind of in the past, and everybody likes it, so great, we don't need to look at that. You know, only recently, now we started making the film, I started watching the video again and realising what it was, you know, kind of wondering what it is which set the place alight so much. And, you know, a lot of it's Freddie. A lot of it's just Freddie's incredible power of connection, not only with the audience, but with the cameras. But we sound like a band that knows what it's doing, I suppose, and is hungry and is locked in. And I think we had a good attitude for Live Aid, because we took Bob at his word. Bob said, look, don't get clever. This is a global jukebox. Play the hits. Give them what they want all around the world. So we took that completely to heart, and we rehearsed everything, kind of compressed into kind of long melange, and went on and just powered through it, and it worked just perfectly. It also worked because we understood the stadium situation. We'd played football stadiums in South America, and really nobody else had. We understood what the dynamics are and the geometry is, and what you need in your body to make that work, you know, and especially Freddie. You know, it was Freddie's kind of one of Freddie's greatest moments, without a doubt. And it's been fascinating for me to watch that now, and then watch these young actors reproducing it. Really fascinating. You know, you start wondering what the essence of it is. I feel gratitude again. You know, I hope not to be overstressing this, but it's good to feel gratitude, I think.
Yeah. Using the word essence, what do you think is the essence of the band? What sort of, because when you listen to your songs, when I listen to your songs, they turn unexpectedly somewhere. The music was never there before, like from opera to hard rock and stuff. What is if you were to choose one song that was, it is essence of what Queen, it is essence of what Queen.
It's interesting, when you're describing it, you're going like this. The essence is, I think, kind of grabbing people's hearts. You know, it's really opening our hearts and grabbing people and connecting. I don't know if one song can really sum it up, you know, because as you say, there have to be so many twists and turns, because we are such complex creatures as human beings, you know. I don't know if I can pick one song.
Okay, I'll try to help you.
Okay.
You're being very humble, and I admire your guitar work, because you know when to step back. You know where to play, and you know where to step back. It's one of the things I admire in Queen. Maybe your favourite song of all?
I don't know if I have a favourite there.
I'm going to push you.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing is for us... Okay, I'm going to give you three favourites, is because they connect the most. And, you know, we come to the end of a show, and no matter what we've put in the show, there will be a certain connection with the audience. But we have three triggers at the end of the show, which are kind of gifts. You can only say they're gifts because they connect without people even hesitating or thinking. One is Bohemian Rhapsody, because that's in everybody's lives. Everybody feels something for Bohemian Rhapsody. Then we have We Will Rock You. Everybody has heard it and felt it someplace in their life. We Are the Champions, which again encapsulates for everybody some threads, some moments in their lives. So they're my favourites because they transcended the normal connection. Normal connection is you play a song, people hear it, go, hooray. You know, or maybe people play it on the radio, people go, oh, that's great, you know. But if the song goes deeper, it becomes kind of woven into people's sensibilities. And as soon as they hear a tiniest portion of that song, emotions come into their body and they connect with certain feelings, hopefully good feelings. So, okay, that's my favourites for now.
And you're afraid of sounding simple, because those are simple beats. We work here as a simple thing.
Yeah, simplicity is the essence if you can get away with it.
Do you know that in 1986 you triggered something in Eastern Europe because you were the first stadium band you played Hungarian.
Incredible, yeah.
People from Czechoslovakia those days went to see Queen, and it was the first thing. Do you remember that time?
Yeah, very vivid.
Wow.
Yeah, simplicity is the essence if you can get away with it.
Do you know that in 1986 you triggered something in Eastern Europe because you were the first stadium band you played Hungarian.
Incredible, yeah.
People from Czechoslovakia those days went to see Queen, and it was the first thing. Do you remember that time?
Yeah, very vividly, yeah. And luckily we do have some video footage to remind us. But yeah, and we also have some wonderful film footage from the concert itself in the Nepstadion, shot by all the greatest Hungarian cinematographers. And yes, I remember it so well. I remember learning the little song that we sang to them, the Hungarian folk song.
So the fans will not forget it. Now,
I don't think any of us will ever forget. It was a momentous moment for us all.
Brian, when did you get your, not degree, but doctorate from astrophysics? Huh?
Yeah, about 5 years ago, wasn't it?
5 years ago.
I think it was 5 years ago, yeah. 30 years after I started, yeah.
That's a good one. Time is a very interesting matter in astrophysics. When you look from that point of astrophysics at your band, and think about time, what's the narrative of yours?
Well, 30 years is nothing in astronomical terms, is it? Because it's the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do I think of time? Well, I have an interesting view, because I had my 70th birthday just a few months ago. And it really did make a change in me, because suddenly, you have a figure which is right in front of your eyes, 70. And inside, I don't feel it. I don't feel like wise enough, old enough, or sort of experienced enough to be 70 years old. I feel about 35, and if I walk into a room, that's what I feel I am. And that's what I think will be the way people relate to me. Someone who's kind of uncertain and still making his way in the world. But I am actually twice that, So I view time as something very odd. There's something very subjective about time, and again, doing my 3D book, sometimes I looked at some of those 3D pictures and you feel you can walk in. It's like a time machine. You walk in and you're in that situation. So you see the people around you at that time, say like in 1970, you see the landscape, and then you can hear the sounds, you can smell what's going on. And you can feel what was inside you at the time. So it's like a time machine to a piece of yourself. So I found that quite moving, and I found I rediscovered bits of me which I'd completely forgotten. The upshot of it was, I don't want to go back. There's some wonderful times, but I don't want to go back. I want to experience now and what happens in the future.
There's no link through time. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.